Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner have worked together on a famous movie for a long time. People think they just made a film together. There's more to the story of Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner than people know. Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner seem like friends when you see them talking about their movie. Now Tom Hanks is talking about his life. It is very honest. Tom Hanks is 69 years old. He is saying things that surprise people. Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner have a place in Hollywood because of the movie they made together. The things he said about Reiner are not bad or mean. They are actually very helpful because they show us what it was like for them to work together. We can see the tension and the respect they had for each other. We can also see the problems they did not talk about. All of these things affected their work, changed their careers for a long time. The careers of Reiner and the other person were both impacted by their time working on these projects with Reiner. For a time, Tom Hanks did not talk about what really happened when he worked with some people. This was not because he was trying to keep secrets, because he wanted to be loyal to them. In Hollywood, people often do not talk about things. This is just as important as being successful. Tom Hanks has always been very careful about what he says. As time goes on, the way we think about things changes. Things that used to be very personal and private now seem important to talk about. Tom Hanks is not trying to change what happened in the past. He is just trying to tell the story to explain what it was really like to work on big projects with a lot of pressure to be creative. He talks about how he built trust with people where they did not agree on things and why these things were very important to him as an actor and as a person. We see Tom Hanks explain why he decided to talk about this, and how being honest changes what people think about one of the most famous partnerships in Hollywood, the partnership between Tom Hanks and other people he worked with. When Tom Hanks worked with Rob Reiner, Tom Hanks was moving away from roles and into more serious ones that had a lot of emotions. This was a change for Tom Hanks and his career. Rob Reiner had an impact on Tom Hanks and how Tom Hanks thought about telling stories, being disciplined, and being responsible for his work. What people saw on screen and thought was easy was actually the result of a lot of work and a tough environment that made people be very creative. Rob Reiner was already known for having an idea of what he wanted and for expecting a lot from the people he worked with, which made them want to do their best work. For Tom Hanks, this way of doing things was really tough. It changed him a lot. Tom Hanks has said that Rob Reiner did a lot more than just tell people what to do when they were acting. He really looked at everything they did. He looked at every line they said, every time they stopped talking, and every feeling they showed. He wanted to make sure everything was just right. This was not always easy for Tom Hanks. Rob Reiner did it on purpose, and it really helped Tom Hanks figure out what kind of actor Tom Hanks wanted to be. Tom Hanks was still trying to decide what kind of actor he wanted to become at that time. Reiner told Hanks to get rid of what was not needed and be real. This was not easy. They had disagreements, had to make changes. There were times when they were frustrated. People did not know about it. The respect they had for each other was something they worked for. It did not just happen. Hanks says that working together was not always simple because they did not automatically like each other. They had to trust each other. This trust was made when things were tough. Reiner was honest with Hanks. He expected Hanks to be honest too. For Hanks, who is known for being a professional and a humble person, this was hard to do, but it was also very helpful. Reiner and Hanks had to work to make their collaboration successful. People usually think about the work of Tom Hanks for the fuzzy feelings it gives them. Tom Hanks says that is not really how it was. They had talks about how to make the characters seem real and what they wanted the characters to do. They also talked about how to show feelings without being too sappy. The director, Reiner, wanted everything to seem real in the sad or happy moments. This helped Tom Hanks learn how to be subtle, which is something that makes his performances really good. Tom Hanks' performances are often very subtle. That is what people like about them. Tom Hanks thinks that Rob Reiner is very responsible when it comes to telling stories. Tom Hanks says that Rob Reiner really believes that movies are important. They can change how people think about relationships and what is right and wrong. Tom Hanks thinks this is because Rob Reiner wants to make people think about how they behave. When Tom Hanks worked with Rob Reiner, he saw how serious he was about making movies. Rob Reiner did not just think about himself, he thought about what the movie could do for people. This made Tom Hanks want to work with directors who feel the way. Tom Hanks liked being on a set where everything was done for a reason. It made him want to be better and think more about what he was doing. Tom Hanks thinks that actors have a job to do when it comes to telling stories that mean something. He learned this from working with Rob Reiner. Tom Hanks' thoughts today are really striking because they come from a place of gratitude and honesty. He is not bitter or trying to change the past. Tom Hanks says that working with Rob Reiner was tough and sometimes made him feel uncomfortable. Tom Hanks knows that it was necessary for him to learn and grow. Tom Hanks learned that when you work with someone on a project, it can be really hard, but it is often worth it. This experience changed the way Tom Hanks thought about his career. Tom Hanks realized that just being talented is not enough. You also need to be disciplined and humble and able to understand your emotions. Reiner taught Hanks that it is good to be quiet. Hanks learned to let the moment be and not try to do much. At first, this was hard for Hanks to do. Now Hanks thinks that learning when to do nothing was a big lesson for him. Reiner's approach to restraint was very helpful to Hanks. Hanks knows that Reiner's way of doing things was good for him. The collaboration also showed Tom Hanks what it is like to have tension that the public never finds out about. They had to do takes of a scene, but it was not because of technical problems. It was because Rob Reiner felt like the emotions were not right. These moments could be very frustrating for Tom Hanks. They also taught him that being honest with himself and understanding himself is very important. Tom Hanks learned that when people criticize him in a way, it can be helpful. It does not have to be something that scares him. Rob Reiner did a lot of work to get ready for filming. He thought about what motivated the characters and what their backstory was. He also thought about the logic of the scene. This preparation helped Tom Hanks and the other actors feel safe to try things without getting confused. Tom Hanks later adopted this disciplined approach in his projects. He credits Rob Reiner with shaping Tom Hanks' professional mindset. Tom Hanks thinks that Rob Reiner had an influence on the way Tom Hanks works on his projects. Tom Hanks is 69 years old now. He thinks about this a lot. He realizes that Rob Reiner was not just making a movie, he was also teaching Tom Hanks how to work. Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner respected each other. They did not just follow rules because one person was in charge. When they did not agree on something, they talked about it. They did not just say no. Stop talking. This way people could say what they really thought without being afraid. Tom Hanks says that this makes Rob Reiner seem like a person, not just a boss. It shows that when a director is very serious about something, it is because they really care about the work, not because they are unsure of themselves. Tom Hanks thinks that Rob Reiner really cared about his movies. The collaboration with actors and directors taught Tom Hanks to tell the truth on screen without adding anything extra. This lesson has really stuck with Tom Hanks throughout his career as an actor. Tom Hanks has found that being honest on screen is really important. Tom Hanks also thinks about how working with Rob Reiner changed the way he feels about being responsible as an actor. After working with Rob Reiner, Tom Hanks did not try to get roles just to show off, to help tell the story. This way of thinking changed how Tom Hanks picked projects, got ready for them, and decided if they were successful. Tom Hanks started to care about doing what is right than about being popular. Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner talked about a lot of things besides acting, like what's important to them, what they are afraid of, and what they want to do. These talks reminded Tom Hanks that storytelling is a responsibility. Tom Hanks knows that most projects help artists get better, but working with Rob Reiner was special, and it changed him as an actor. Reiner was a special person. He belonged to that exceptional category of people. The category that Reiner was a part of was truly one of a kind. Tom Hanks says that Rob Reiner had to deal with a lot of stress as a director. He had to be sure of himself, while also dealing with people who doubted him, criticized him, and put pressure on the team. What seemed hard to do at the time now seems like he really cared about the people he was working with. Tom Hanks thinks that the tough times he went through helped him have a career, be believable, and have people trust him. Now that Tom Hanks is older, he can talk about his life without holding. He does not have to make things sound better than they were or leave out details. The way Tom Hanks tells a story is very meaningful. He is thankful for what he has been through. Tom Hanks is grateful for his experiences and the things he learned from them. What Tom Hanks has said about Rob Reiner is not bad, it is just that Tom Hanks knows Rob Reiner had an impact on him. When Tom Hanks works with someone, it can affect him for a long time. Tom Hanks still thinks about what he learned from Rob Reiner after many years. Tom Hanks does this because Rob Reiner taught Tom Hanks what it means to work hard and do a good job, not because everything was perfect, but because Tom Hanks learned a lot from Rob Reiner. Meeting Reiner at the precise moment in his career allowed these lessons to be absorbed fully, shaping his artistic identity, sense of responsibility, and understanding of storytelling in ways that continue to define him today.